You're watching Luntha TV and it's time for a 7:30 news bulletin. My name is Tandi Zamara. First, a look at the headlines. Pope Leo XIV urges Russian President Vladimir Putin to take a step that favors peace and dialogue. Malawi and Mozambique move to ensure east movement of people and goods. Umuntu Social Impact Forum ignites self-reliance zero for Malawians. And in other news, United States President Donald Trump announces U.S. travel ban on 12 countries with restrictions on 7. We do have the details to these stories and more. Just stay with us. On Wednesday afternoon, Pope Leo XIV and Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke by phone, focusing especially on the war in Ukraine. Matteo Bruni, Holy See Director of the Holy See Press Office, told reporters that the Pope and the President discussed the humanitarian situation as well as the need to facilitate aid where necessary. According to Bruni, the Pope made an appeal for Russia to take a gesture that would favor peace, emphasizing the importance of dialogue to create positive contacts between the parties and seek solutions to the conflict. We have more details on this Catholic News Agency report read by Thalis Chizombe.
According to Bruni, the two leaders also discussed Cardinal Matteo Malia Zuppi's efforts to facilitate prisoner exchanges. He added that Pope Leo made reference to Patriarch Kirill, thanking him for the congratulations received at the beginning of his pontificate, and underlined how shared Christian values can be a light that helps to seek peace, defend life, and pursue genuine religious freedom. According to Reuters, in a statement following the call, the Kremlin expressed gratitude to the pontiff for his readiness to help settle the crisis, in particular the Vatican's participation in resolving difficult humanitarian issues on a depoliticized basis. The Kremlin's statement further said Putin stressed his belief to the Holy Father that the Kievan regime is banking on escalating the conflict and is carrying out sabotage against civilian infrastructure sites on Russian territory. Leo XIV's first call with Putin comes just over 3 weeks after his first call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on May 12. At the time, Bruni confirmed the two leaders had spoken after the Pope expressed concern for Ukraine during his 11th Sunday address. At the time, Zelensky shared a photo on X of him purportedly having a telephone call with Pope Leo. After expressing gratitude to the Holy Father for his support for Ukraine and all their people, Zelensky said he and the Pope specifically discussed the plight of thousands of children deported by Russia, reiterating Ukraine's commitment to work toward a full and unconditional ceasefire and the end of the war with Russia. Ukraine's president said he also invited the Holy Father to make an apostolic visit to Ukraine.
Likoni Girls Secondary School of the Catholic Diocese of Lilongwe has reaffirmed its commitment to advancing girls' education following the outstanding achievement of its student Eliza Andrea in a regional SE competition. The school's headmistress, Sister Amelia Nyendwa, made the sentiments on Thursday upon Eliza's return from Uganda, where she received her award alongside 3 other secondary school students from Uganda and Tanzania. Charity Chilanga has more details in this report.
Sister Nyandwa said the students' success is a testament to the school's commitment to providing a supportive environment that encourages girls to excel. She highlighted that the school plans to leverage Eliza's achievement to encourage other students to participate in similar competitions. Among other things, Sister Nyandwa said the school's commitment to advancing girls' education is expected to have a positive impact on the students' academic performance and confidence, adding that Eliza's achievement serves as a motivation for other students to strive for excellence, and the school's efforts to promote girls' education are likely to yield long-term benefits for the students and the community.
I got the information, their advert. We got it at our school. So usually when I get the advert, I give the English department. They are the ones who deal with that. So, and anyway, students are asked, those who will, to do it, because it's not everybody who can do the interviews or whatever it is. It's a will from the student. So that's what happened. So Eliza came up herself and the other one who didn't win. That's how it was done.
In her remarks, Eliza Andrea expressed her excitement about receiving a prize in a grand ceremony, saying it was a thrilling and unexpected experience. She encouraged her fellow students in Malawi to work hard, believe in themselves, and not to let others undermine their potential.
I feel very great. It's unexpected. I feel so great, fantastic, tremendous. In fact, I'm happy. I'm over the moon. Yes. First of all, I should say that I learned the topic I learned from the origin. So I read the essay. I worked very extra hard to test myself how much I learned from the oral teachings. That's why I really worked extra hard. The impact, to be honest, it will be very good. It will help me in different ways. It will help, in fact, the lighting, it will help me to be an author in future. It will help me to be one of the best authors in the future. Yes.
Hosted by Uganda Matters University, Umu, 4 outstanding students from Uganda, Tanzania, and Malawi have been honored as winners of the 2025 Uganda Matters AC and Quiz competition. The first prize was awarded to Rita Precious Asimwe from St. Charles Ranga Secondary School, Muebe Mitiana Diocese, and she received 500 United States dollars and a plaque. The second place went to Andrea Eliza from Nikuni Girls Secondary School, Lilongwe, Malawi, who received 400 United States dollars and a plaque. The third place was a tie between Hamadi Ayubu from Leso Compassion Secondary School for Takem, Tanzania, and Caroline Mukatamalema from St. Maria Goleti Secondary School, Fort Portal, Uganda. Each received 300 United States dollars and a plaque. The competition, launched in 2022 by Professor Patrick Kiamanywa, Vice-Chancellor of UMU, is now a regional initiative that draws participation from secondary school students across East and Southern Africa. It aims to help young people appreciate the values of courage, faith, sacrifice, and conviction embodied by the Uganda Matters.
Malawi and Mozambique have today signed 3 new agreements that will help people and goods move more easily between the 2 neighboring countries. The agreements are the one-stop border post, digital systems, and direct flights between the 2 countries. Minister of Foreign Affairs Luntha disclosed this today following bilateral talks between President Lazarus Chakwera and his Mozambican counterpart Daniel Chapo, visiting Mozambican president who is on a 2-day official visit to Malawi. We have more details on this report read by Robert Edward.
The minister explained that the Mozambique delegation traveling for the talks couldn't fly straight to Malawi and had to take connecting flights through South Africa and Lusaka, Zambia, adding that direct flights would make travel much simpler.
Was to improve infrastructure, to improve trade, to fast track our connectivity in the area of power, electricity, but also
hosting a luncheon meeting for the business community at the Bingu International Convention Center in Lilongwe, President of Mozambique, Daniel Chapo, said Malawi and his country are sister nations, hence the need to facilitate business in various sectors of development. The visiting president said the business luncheon was meant to iron out barriers that hinder smooth trade activities between the sister nations. He adds that the two countries have to attract foreign and local investments that can speed economic development in Malawi and Mozambique. In his remarks, Minister of Trade and Industry Vitumbiko Mumba said Africa has come to realize that economic growth is achievable through trade and investment, not aid. Mumba noted that Malawi and Mozambique are strengthening their bilateral trade ties to promote cross-border commerce, citing the Dedza one-stop border post as proof of the two countries' commitment to facilitating smooth trade. Among other engagements, the visiting Mozambican president visited Parliament building in Lilongwe, where he was welcomed by Speaker of Parliament Catherine Kotanihara, Deputy Speaker Madalitso Kazombo, and other government officials from both Malawi and Mozambique. Immediately upon arrival, President Chapo signed the visitors' book in the presidential lounge and planted a tree outside the Parliament premises. After that, Chapo read a wreath at the Kamuzu Mausoleum in honor of Malawi's founding leader, Dr. Hastings Kamuzibanda. The ceremony was led by the Malawi Defense Force and attended by Vice President Dr. Michael Usi, Speaker of the National Assembly Catherine Kotanihara, Deputy Speaker of Parliament Madalitso Kazombo, Minister of Local Government Richard Banda, and other dignitaries, including members of the Kamuzu family.
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has warned that Malawi's economy is facing significant challenges, including macroeconomic instability and a high risk of debt distress. A recent visit by an IMF team led by Justin Tyson from the 22nd of May to the 3rd of June highlighted the need for policies to ensure macroeconomic stability and promote strong, inclusive, and durable growth. We have more details on this report by Emmanuel Shiwocha.
Malawi's economy has been battered by several shocks, including a drought that impacted agricultural production and foreign exchange shortages that dampened economic activities. As a result, real GDP growth declined to 1.8% in 2024, and over 20% of the population is facing high levels of food insecurity. The IMF team emphasized that physical adjustment is necessary to achieve sustainability and reduce the risk of debt distress. To address these challenges, the IMF team recommended a combination of domestic revenue mobilization, expenditure rebalancing, and debt restructuring. Additionally, monetary policy tightening is crucial to support disinflation efforts and ease pressure on exchange rates. A unified and market-clearing exchange rate is essential to reduce imbalances and supporting the authorities' growth objectives. Economic expert Kingsley Jassy agrees with the IMF assessment, stating that the government huge borrowing and expenditure making the IMF decision and surprising.
The industrial slowdown, all these jobs, you see that people are struggling. Even the incomes, they are very low. The cost of living is going up. So all these things are results of an economy that is not functioning. So when an economy is not functioning, there are remedies that you need to take to do in order to fix things. So what the IMF is saying is that it's just pointing to what Malawi needs to do. The issue of exchange rate realignment has always been there. We see that the black market rate and the official rate, the gap is just too wide. So that also comes with problems. It discourages investors to come. It discourages, but also slowing down of borrowing. All these things are what the IMF is demanding.
Expert on good governance, Victor Chipopia, adds that the government should clearly outline its plan to address economic challenges raised by the IMF.
It is very sad. And the reason why he was doing that is exactly what is going wrong today in this country now. That prices of basic commodities have gone very high because we have devalued our currency so badly. Now we are at a place where we need help from the IMF through the extended credit facility. And now we are saying these guys should not come anymore. And now the people of Malawi are suffering. We don't have balance of payment. We don't have forex in the country. We are not exporting. So how do the people that are governing this economy right now think that the people of Malawi are going to survive?
The IMF team welcomed public financial management improvements, including the expansion of the integrated financial management and information systems, IFMIS, and bank reconciliations. However, further reforms are needed to enhance budget development, execution, and reporting, improve the procurement system, and strengthen state-owned enterprises oversight. Looking ahead, the IMF expects real GDP growth to be 2.4% in 2025 and gradually increase to 3.4% over the medium term. However, risks are titled to downsize, including lower than the anticipated grant inflows and food production. Additionally, global trade tensions and delayed reforms. For Luntha News, in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel George.
The Malawi Council for Disability Affairs, Makoda, has expressed concern that the country is falling behind in promoting the political participation of persons with disabilities. Makoda spokesperson Harriet Gashimanga explains that people with disabilities face barriers to engaging in politics due to limited direct access to information and the failure of authorities to adequately consider their needs when planning election-related activities. We have more details on this report by Gift Kalunga.
As Malawi heads towards general elections, persons with disabilities feel left behind. With Malawi's general elections set for September 16th, people with disabilities say they continue to face exclusion from meaningful political participation. Harriet Kachimanga, spokesperson for the Malawi Council for Disability Affairs, Makoda, says a lack of awareness and limited access to elections-related information is preventing many persons with disabilities from participating. She attributes this to the absence of special consideration for the diverse forms of disability in election planning. Kachimanga is calling on all stakeholders to involve persons with disabilities in the electoral planning process, arguing that they are the best positioned to express the kind of support and treatment they need to fully exercise their political exercise.
As a country, Malawi, we are still lagging behind when it comes to political participation of persons with disabilities. We could, for example, look at the registration of voters for the upcoming elections, general elections on 16th September, whereby, according to the report provided by the Malawi Electoral Commission, only 137,925 persons with disabilities have registered to vote during the elections. So we are talking about only 1.9% of total registered voters. This is a very small figure compared to the number of persons with disabilities we have in Malawi. There are a lot of persons with disabilities. We are talking about over 1.7 million persons with disabilities according to the National Statistics Office 2018 report. So by now the figure might be very huge. So with 137,925 persons with disabilities registering for these September elections, it just shows that political participation of persons with disabilities we are lagging behind.
Meanwhile, Malawi Law Society MLS Secretary Francis Ekari Mame has affirmed that the country's constitution promotes the political participation of all citizens, including those with disabilities. He emphasized that the law mandates adequate assistance to ensure persons with
pillar is to do the Persons with Disabilities Act, which was enacted in 2024 last year, which put now these constitutional principles into specific actions for persons with disabilities.
According to the 2018 Malawi Population Housing Census, approximately 1,734,250 persons aged 5 and above in Malawi live with at least one form of disability, representing about 11.6% of that population group. However, during recent registration exercise, only 137,095 persons with disability registered, highlighting a significant gap in electoral participation among this group. For Luntha News, this is Gift Kalonga.
A diversification beyond agriculture as a strategic engagement tool for self-reliance can be one of Malawi's buttons to press in response to the aid cut and suspension, hard reality that most African countries have faced. This is according to Research Manager for the National Planning Commission, NPC, Dr. Andrew Jamali, who was speaking at the Umuntu Social Impact Forum in Lilongwe to redefine Malawi's development from donor dependence to independence route. The forum was among others organized by Thrive Africa, whose chief executive officer, Wilson Chivwanga, says there is need for mindset shift from waiting for foreign resources to seeing foreign resources as just supportive finance structure for African development. Robert Edward has more details on this report.
With the first out of 7 enablers for the country's development blueprint, Malawi 2063, being mindset change and a body reaction to the foreign aid cut being also mindset change, this positions the country on an opportunity to develop a positive attitude to the aid cut. On Thursday, local and international development partners, corporate community and innovators gathered in Lilongwe to embrace Umuntu philosophy at the Umuntu Social Impact Forum to redefine the country's development heart from waiting for foreign aid to being economically independent. Speaking at the event, Research Manager for National Planning Commission, Dr. Andrew Jamali, noted that the forum is the best platform to create development synergies and networks about how the country can forge local financing strategies.
And beyond aid.
Gone. What becomes of the projects that have been supported by them, right? Maybe it's time to have conversation with development financing institutions in this country. Apart from making sure that our economy is ticking and generating enough to support development initiatives, there is philanthropy that we can look at. Normally when we talk about philanthropy, we're looking at people that are so rich. No, there are people that we are supporting in the villages. That's philanthropy in itself. We can extend that in the context that we're working with. So when you look at
to Thrive Africa Chief Executive Officer Wilson Chivwanga, the mindset should be of people to own the development, the country, and champion change.
In countries like Malawi,
I think it's absolutely.
How best do we bridge the gap to make sure that
one of the issues that we raised this morning, and I particularly spoke about this in my welcome remarks, is that we cannot build, or development cannot be premised on other people. It has to be premised on the owners, of the development, which are the people themselves. So I think the mindset shift agenda is big because that is where it starts. You need to start from that perspective of
one of the organizers for the forum, who is Clearcom's Media Chief Executive Officer Ruth Kuraisi, described the mindset change as a shift from feeling entitled to get funding. The forum is the first step for the country to join African nations that are tired from having their development at the mercy of the foreign financiers. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
Now, in other news, United States President Donald Trump has signed an executive order imposing a full travel ban on people from 12 countries and restricting the citizens of 7 other countries, the White House has said. The banned countries include Afghanistan, Chad, Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Myanmar, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. In addition to the ban announced on Wednesday, there will be heightened restrictions on people from Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. We have more details on this Al Jazeera News report read by Phyllis Chizombe.
The order comes into force on Monday, June 9, 2025, at 12 a.m. local time in Washington, D.C. Visas issued before that date will not be revoked, the order said. In a video message released by the White House, Trump said the recent attack on a pro-Israel rally in Boulder, Colorado, had underscored the extreme dangers posed to their country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted. The president claimed there were millions and millions of these illegals who should not be in their country. Trump also signed an executive order on Wednesday to suspend the entry of foreign nationals seeking to study or participate in programs at Harvard, accusing one of the U.S.'s most prestigious universities of having a history of concerning foreign ties and radicalism. The order directs the U.S. State Department to consider revoking existing academic or exchange visas of any current Harvard students who meet the proclamation's criteria. Harvard has accused the U.S. administration of retaliating against it for refusing to accede to Trump's demands to control the school's governance, curriculum, and the ideology of its faculty and students. Last month, the administration revoked Harvard's ability to enroll foreign students. While that move was blocked by a federal court in Boston, Trump's latest order invokes a different legal authority, the Associated Press news agency reports.
That brings us to the end of our news, but before we go and look at the headlines. Pope Leo XIV urges Russian President Vladimir Putin to take a step that favors peace and dialogue. Malawi and Mozambique move to ensure east movement of people and goods. Umuntu Social Impact Forum ignites self-reliance zero for Malawians. And in other news, United States President Donald Trump announces U.S. travel ban on 12 countries with restrictions on 7. My name is Tandiwe Mzamara. Continue following the rest of our programs right here on Luntha TV. Goodbye for now.